Okay, here we go, guys. All right, welcome. First coach call of coach training here. Okay, guys, we are going to go full force and we have a lot to get through tonight. This is so exciting because I don't know, I really like talking about this portion and getting you guys kicked off because once I started doing this part of the business and once I started doing this thing that we're going to talk about tonight, everything changed. And I didn't really start doing it until like 6 months ago. So take the advice now and do it now because it seems like a lot of like wimpy pie in the sky stuff, but it really does work, believe it or not. So tonight, my name is Michelle Elam, by the way, for those of you that don't know who I am. I'm a one-star diamond coach. I've been with Beachbody now for 3 years, working with Beachbody now for about 3 years. And I live here in central Illinois with my husband. I have 3 children. I work full-time still. And, just absolutely love the products. My initial program I did was a 21-day fix. Still drink Shakeology every single day. And just for me now, like I'm 39, I'm going to be 40 next year. I feel the best I've ever felt in my entire life. And I know that's Shakeology. I know that's what it is. And that's my story. So we're going to talk about how to build your story tonight and how to attract people to you that are just like you, right? So we're going to talk about goals. We're going to talk a little bit about earning money, which is fun. We're going to write our story, and you're going to write your story or start brainstorming and writing your own story tonight. We're going to talk about building a contact list, and we're going to talk about homework. So we have a lot to get through. If you guys have your coach manuals in front of you, so this is kind of going to be a working, it's going to be a working, I can't do 2 things at once, a working meeting, right? So I just pulled up the new the coach manual, and this story, like I shared a little bit about my story, but this is such an awesome business, you guys, and you're going to learn that as time goes on. Jolene, who is my coach, her and I met through social media. We both live in the same town, but I just saw some of her posts and I wanted to be a part of that fun. That's what attracted me to her. It wasn't the opportunity. It had nothing to do with the products. She looked like she was having fun and I wanted to be a part of that fun. So if that gives you a little bit of glimpse into my personality, I just kind of want to be where the party is. So and that Jolene was just sharing what she was doing. And we're going to talk a lot about that tonight. So your new coach manual, and there's a whole lot in here that we're not going to go through. Obviously, your important resources, definitely go through this and just make sure you've got some of this stuff logged in the back of your mind. Your new coach checklist, there may be things on here you haven't seen or you don't understand. So just make sure you read through that page. And if there's things that you have questions about, I'm specifically just speaking to my personally sponsored coach, April, because there may be some things on here that we haven't talked through just yet. So I know we've talked through having fun though. So check on that one. Okay, so we were going to go to this page, which is talking about your why and goal setting. And this is just straight up, like this is something that for the longest time I thought, okay, I'm going to set my goals. Yes, okay, I know what they are. Why do I have to write them down? It makes such a huge difference when you start putting pen to paper and you just let your mind go and the things that just come out, like one day I just started writing and what came out of my brain onto paper was that I want to have a house a ranch style house with a courtyard pool, and I want to do I want to grill out, and I want to have a lot of people over at my house, and I want to make good food, and just this painting this picture of this life that I wanted to live. And it just came out. And so my point is once you start getting it down on paper, it just makes a reality. It makes it a reality, and it makes you motivated to go after something. So here are just some things that you need to start thinking about, or that we're asking you to start thinking about. And then ultimately, as you're bringing on coaches and as you're building your team, you're going to start asking your coaches to do the same thing. We can't help our coaches unless we know what it is that you want to achieve, right? So you've got to know, you got to get it on paper, and then you got to go for it. So this is really going to help you look at your why. Knowing what you want out of life and why you want it, it's imperative to keep you going through this business, because there are highs, and there are a lot of them, and there are lows, and there are a lot of them. But setting your goals and knowing why you're putting yourself through all this is what keeps you going. And so, you know, you're here because you love this business. Well, hopefully you love Beachbody and you love the products. And you're endorsing it now because you're putting your name on the Beachbody products, right? So now we just kind of need to understand what it is that you want to do with your life. So as I'm talking, start filling this out, right? Family goals. What do you want to achieve with your family? Maybe where do you want to live? All of that sort of stuff. And as I'm talking, maybe something will inspire you and take you in a certain direction as you're writing stuff. It's kind of a working call. I want you to think about this business, guys, is huge. It's so big, and it can be enormously impactful to you and your family and your children. You can leave a legacy. I mean, so I don't want you to think like a Beachbody coach tonight. I want you to think like a CEO, right? You are creating a business plan. For those of you that are in business, this is where you're starting to formulate and visualize a business plan. Because guys, you aren't just a coach for Beachbody. You're a distributor of Beachbody products, but you now run your own business in fitness. And you need to take your thinking that maybe here, and I want you to think big and start getting it down in these little columns here, okay? Maybe in the business goals section, you write down, what do you want to achieve through helping others? Like, don't make it so much about you. Maybe make it about helping others, if that makes it a little bit easier for you when you're starting to talk about your business goals. You know, I want to help 18 people this year. I want to help 100 people this year. But guys, this is really key. And this is something that Chalene Johnson said, and it's been said over and over again. You will never achieve anything unless you put it on paper first. Because when you put your goals down on paper, they aren't goals anymore. They're intentions. Like, it's going to happen now. And it's crazy because I ask all of my challengers, I just started doing this a couple months ago, to start writing out their goal for the next 21 days. Write it down on a piece of paper. Why do I have to do that? Because I want to know that you're committing to that goal. I don't want to know that, you know, you can tell me what you want to do, and that's great, but I need to know you're committing to it by writing it down on a piece of paper and sticking it somewhere where you're going to see it every single day, because it gets real when we make them do that. So as you're kind of thinking through all of this and writing stuff down, family goals, you know, maybe you want to take your family on a trip. Maybe you want to save up to send your kids to college. Maybe you want to be able to afford a better daycare, or maybe you have some medical bills. You know, that's financial goals, maybe a little bit. you know, your business goals, as you're kind of writing them down, and it talks here, list how you will reach them and determine why they are important to you. As you're writing down the business goals, kind of be thinking about what would success look like to you? How would you know you've made it, right? Is there a certain number? Is there that you can leave your big girl job? You know, write down what that would look like for you. And again, I just want you to think big. Financial goals, maybe start thinking about this. Well, first of all, what would you like to earn? And I think it's like, what would you like to earn per week a year from now? Like maybe start writing that down. But don't just write down like how much you want to earn. Write about how that money would impact your life. What would you do with that money? Sometimes I think that we aren't just motivated by money. We're motivated by what we're going to do with that money, right? It's great to have it, but sometimes like money just sits there, or if it sits there, then it gets spent. I know in our family, like we need to have a plan with what we're going to do with that money. Write it down. And here's another financial scary goal, but I really want you to think about this. What do you need to make to treat this like a real business? How much per week? Write it down. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. The potential is right around the corner for you. It's just a little bit of work. So write that down. How much do you need to make per week to treat this like a real business and go all in, go full time, right? Write that down. So I'll kind of share with you like my initial goals. Like I need to make 1,000 a week. I need to get my business up to that. I want to be home with my kids. I want to be a homeroom mom. I want to teach more fitness classes. I want to do more with my church. And then I told you about my big goals. I want a big house with a courtyard pool. I want to live in warm weather. I want to send my husband to WrestleMania. It's a silly goal. And my daughter and I want to go to Hawaii. So those are just big things. Get them out. Get them on paper. Don't worry about how you're going to do it, though, too. That's always we kind of get caught up in like, I don't even know how I'm going to do that, so I'm not going to write. Don't worry about the details. The point of this exercise is just for you to visualize and for you to build your dream life, like to start carving that out. Because what's going to keep you motivated is these goals. So, keep writing those out. Okay, so we're gonna break down our goals just a little bit. I don't want you to overthink anything, but like, let's take a long-term goal. So I'm gonna scroll down here. We're gonna go down just a couple pages. You can fill this one in later on your own, but this is, this just helps you stay motivated, and it's just, again, helping you get to know yourself a little bit more. But breaking down your goals. So let's take a long-term goal and let's look at your long-term fitness goal. Specifically for me, my long-term fitness goal, what is it? What will it take for me to treat this like a real business and to leave my full-time job? Well, I need to make 1,000 a week. So that would probably go there. So, and then obviously write in, if I achieve this, it will mean that, one, I can stay at home with my kids and not have to work for somebody else. I can live on my own terms. Fill all of that in. What does that mean? That you can make breakfast for your kids, that you can drop your kids off at the bus, and that you can be there when they come home. All of those, goosebump things that maybe you're missing out on that you want to be a part of. Maybe your goal is to just make $200 a week. I don't know. But let's just talk about making $200 a week. Maybe that's your goal. So $1,000 is a little bit too high. I'll just kind of tell you right now, your goal would probably be to get to diamond. So once you get to diamond, you can on average make about 200 plus a week. So your income comes from a team, you building a team. You can still hit Success Club and you still will make an income, but you need to build a team underneath you. And, you know, just so you know what diamond looks like on paper, a diamond rank is you have 4 coaches on your left leg, 4 coaches on your right leg, and 2 of those coaches are emerald, right? So 2 of those coaches have 2 coaches. And those 2 emeralds have to be on either side. So you want to get yourself to diamond in order to get to that $200 per week. You know, there's a lot of formulas, there's a lot of ways we can get you to diamond quickly as well. So yeah, what do you do ASAP? What's your short-term plan? What's your long-term plan? So filling that in, number 1, ASAP, you got to help 3 people in a challenge group. And you got to do that over and over every single month. That would be probably something that you would want to rank. You obviously want to pay, you know, quickly pay for your investment. So if you've just started as a new coach, you want to quickly get your money back on your initial investment. That's probably to do ASAP. So get out there and get helping some people, right? And you want to make sure that you're getting success, getting those people that you're helping, you're getting them successfully through a program, right? So that you do that by running challenge groups. Yes, buddy? I'm on a call. Yeah. Sorry. So you do that by putting them in challenge groups, right? And ensuring that they have success, checking in on them. Because ultimately, those people that have success will probably become a coach if they're loving the products and they're seeing the results. So and you want to repeat that every 30 days, every single month. Hit Success Club, make sure your challengers are successful, and then do it again the following month and invite those people to become coaches. And then your long-term plan, like if you have something that you want to do long-term, you know, you want to become 5-star diamond, or you want to retire, or you want to become the top coach in the organization, we'll work with your coach to come up with a plan to get that done. Anything is possible. Nothing is off the table in this business. You can do anything. It just takes work, right? So action steps, brain dump, fill all of that in. You know, what step by step, what's the first thing I need to do? Okay, well, I need to start talking to people. I need to reach out to more people. I need to, you know, whatever, just whatever comes to mind. Nothing is off the table, but this is you creating your to-do list over the next 30 days, right? Maybe that's talking to people. Maybe that's adding people to your network. We're going to talk about that. So, all right, good. We're going to move on to sharing our story. Any questions, just please, like, I'll go back and see if we have any questions. I don't think we do. In the chat box. No, if you have any questions though, definitely share them in the chat box. We are gonna move on to sharing your story. Okay. So guys, I know that a lot of us think that we do not have anything interesting about ourselves. And I struggle with that almost every single day. And I sometimes have to just force myself to just share. How do I feel right now? I feel nothing. Well, I'm going to share that because there's somebody out there that identifies with that. You know, in the last couple of weeks, I have these horrible mood swings up and down. It's just not like me to be like this. I am nearing 40. I'm sure it's a female thing. So I'm sharing that. And, you know, other women that are going through the same thing, that have free-floating anxiety, that have mood swings, that have depression, those are the people that are now coming to me and attracted to me and, you know, are doing challenge groups with me. So I share that with you because when you're out there and you're sharing your story, you're not just saying, hey guys, I'm a coach now, so let's work together. That's great, but we need to dig into the meat of you. Who are you? What do you like? What do you go through every single day? What's on your mind? All of that is so beautiful and wonderful and so interesting. And I want you to get it out on paper tonight. So I'm going to help you do that. How do you share your story? You share it every which way, all the time. I challenge you guys to go live. And going live and just being vulnerable and being you and sharing your story is just so powerful, you guys. And it's scary, but once you do it and the messages that you start getting from people that are like, you helped me, like, it's just amazing. It makes it all the worthwhile. So I know that there's a lot of scariness around that, but let me tell you this. Stop worrying about people who are not where you want to be in life. Like, this is the big thing. Like, I stopped taking advice from people who have never achieved anything like I want to achieve in my life. And those are the people that I listen to all the time. And we all do. We listen to those people who have opinions, but they've not done anything remotely interesting with their lives. And we allow them to dictate what we do and don't do with our business. So let's stop doing that and let's just go for it and let's help people. And, you know, forget about what so-and-so says or so-and-so thinks about our business or whatever. In fact, if you have people who are coming to you with opinions, congratulations, you are making a difference, because when people start coming to you, when the haters come out, that means you are making a difference. So unfortunately, that's how it happens. But you can never share enough, and your story is going to evolve all the time. It evolves like every single day. So I'm going to help you write your story, and I want you guys to spend some time doing that right now. So number one, and go ahead and start writing, is thinking about when you first started Beachbody. What was your situation? Like, where did you start? What made you start? Did you just have a baby and needed to get 10 pounds off to get back to your pre-baby weight? Maybe you've been trying so many different diets for the last 3 years and you are never consistent with any single one of them, and somebody talked you into giving this a try. Where did you start? Where were you? And get real specific with it. Right? So as you're thinking about that, what don't you like about that? What didn't you like about that? So I had tried everything for 3 years and I was absolutely disgusted with myself. We're going to get ugly, right? You know, I had my third kid. I was eating M&Ms at 3 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't get the weight off. I was tired. I was stressed. I wanted more out of my life. Guys, when you talk about like what you didn't like about that situation. So, you know, you had 10 pounds to lose. I felt like I couldn't be in a bikini when I went out to the pool. People identify with that pain, that thing that you didn't like about yourself. There's somebody out there feeling that right now. So I want you to get real raw and dig into your heart and just let it flow. Like, what is it that maybe you still don't like that about yourself? It's okay. So that's part 2. So where did you start? Where were you? What you didn't like about that situation? And part number 3, you found a solution. You found a solution, right? And that solution was Body Beast, or that solution was Autumn telling me that if I'm tired of starting over, then I need to stop giving up. Or that solution was, you know, drinking Shakeology for 3 days and coming home from work and realizing that I had so much energy that I could go out and play with my kids all evening. What was your solution that just changed it all for you? I want you to write that down. Hopefully it's Beachbody related. That's where we're getting. That's where we're going. Mine was the 21-day fix, right? I did the 21-day fix, and I shared with you, like, Autumn, when she said that, that one did, like, if you're tired of starting over, then just stop giving up. It's just 3 weeks, you guys. That's all she kept saying. I kept going, yep, just 3 weeks, just 3 weeks. And I wanted to get through those 3 weeks. And I did. And I felt amazing. And I had amazing results that I never thought I would see. Like, I just didn't think it was going to work. And it did. And it shocked me. So the next part is, so recapping again, where did you start? What didn't you like about the situation? Found a solution, whatever that was. How do you feel about the future now? So I lost 7 pounds, and I was absolutely floored that it actually freaking worked, right? So we're building a story here, right? And your story is going to evolve, and there's going to be more pieces to it. And with every single program you do, you're going to have a new story. And you're also going to have a business story too, right? Because now you're coaching. Now you decided to help others for some reason. So why did you decide to help others? You know, why did you decide to jump in? What was the solution? Maybe you just decided to jump in because you wanted to make more money. Why didn't you like the situation that you were in when you didn't have money? Your solution was coaching. Now you're making $200 a week and you're paying off bills. You're paying off your house. So you're going to be building a coaching story too at some point. Maybe some of you, like April, you've been a coach now for a couple of months. Maybe you have a coaching story now that you're starting to make a little bit of money. You can start sharing that and attracting more coaches to you. But just know that as you're talking about that, like what I didn't like about how the situation I was in, people identify with the pain and the weakness and the underdog, right? People like that because they're there and they feel the pain with you. And guys, just share it over and over in different facets of it. And, it's amazing what happens when you stop worrying about what people think and you just like let your heart, just give your heart to the world and become vulnerable. And like the relationships that come to you, it's just like the people that are in my life right now, I never would have thought would be in my life. And it's because I've opened my heart to them, and that's what this business is about, is sharing who you are, being vulnerable. As you're sharing it out, as you're sharing your story, and as you're retailering it and, talking to different people, you're going to start to you're going to change it around a little bit. And sometimes when you go live to share your story, I want you to not picture like a massive amount of people, and try to hit everybody. I want you to picture that one person, that one mom, that one college graduate that is like swimming in debt. I want you to like look in the camera and talk specifically to that person about the solution that you found, right? Because when you talk to one person, it's just so real. It's so raw. So, what we're going to do with the story that you guys are working and writing down now is you're going to create a business launch post if you haven't already, with a picture of you before and after, or a picture of you working out, and you're going to just invite people to come join you. right? You're going to say, hey, here's my story. Here's where I was. Here's where I am now. Who the heck wants to join me? I'm going to post a sample of the story that you can utilize. And, you know, at the end, we're going to put a call to action. If this sounds like you and you want to learn more, you know, comment below or message me or whatever. So I'm going to give you some samples of that. You know, I won't go much too farther into that since we've only got 8 minutes left. But just know, just put it out there. Let people hear what your story is. Tell people what you do. You don't want to sell, right? We're not here to sell. We're just here to share. And you're just sharing what you're doing. You're sharing your story so you can help them, right? Okay, we're moving on. Building your contact list. So scrolling down your list of 100 people. Okay, guys, if we don't have a list in this business, it's another new thing that I'm like, oh, the lights just came on. Hello. I had a list, but like I really kind of wasn't working from it. And I was just always kind of adding to it. And then just my obsession was to add to it. My obsession was to not work it. That's another story for another day. I want you guys to create a list. It's a must in this business. It keeps you organized. Just do it. So one of your homework assignments is to get out your phone, get out your Facebook, and just start write a list of 100 people. I do suggest that like 10 of those people are people that you know, they support you no matter what. Like if you said, hey, I'm doing this business, would you buy from me? Would you do a challenge with me? Maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your aunt, your sisters, your brothers. Like put those people down on that list because those are the first people that you're going to tap, you know, you're going to tap on the shoulder and say, hey, come on, you got to do this with me. And then the rest, you just need to put them all down on this list. But what you're going to do, I mean, you're going to start contacting these people. You're going to start reaching out to them. You're not going to say, hey, maybe your first 10 you will say, hey, buy from me. But the rest of them, you're just going to start connecting with them, find out what they need, what are they going through, and then you're going to invite them. So you're just connecting with them, right? You're just making friends first. Hashtag friends first. Just connecting with them, finding out about their kids, all that good stuff. And then you're going to go in with the invite. We've talked a lot in my group about donuts, about not warming up leads, and that's going to come a little bit later. I want you to get comfortable with just connecting with people right now, right? So you're finding out what they need. You know, they're like, oh, I'm just so tired all the time. Oh, you have a solution for them, right? So there's a lot of different ways you can find 100 people. Download your Facebook contacts, open up your phone, and just start scrolling and writing. Just, you know, church, groups on Facebook. But the whole goal of it is to start reaching out to really like 3 people a day. Start 3 new conversations a day. So start 3 new conversations, add 3 more people. 3, 3, 3. That's really that's the pattern that we're going to be getting into as you are growing and building your business. And the bigger business that you want to build, you talk to more people, you add more people. You know, my goal right now is I'm hitting 5 people a day. And then those people that you know will work with you, go ahead and invite them to join you. You know, it's time to start doing that and get them into a challenge group and get results for them. So build a relationship, be interested in what they have to say first, right? Listen to them, make it all about them, Give them lots of love. Love harder. We say that a lot in my group. Like love them and love them some more and then love them even harder. Like give them everything. And then you're going to see a lot of people, like as you're posting more on your social media, people are going to start coming to you, right? Yes, we know that, but that's not how you're going to build a business. You do have to reach out to people. So you should start conversations with them, and then ultimately you're going to be inviting them to challenge groups, inviting them to free groups, and that's how you build that big business that we, hopefully are here to build. So ultimately, at some point, maybe we are all just fantastic on social media where we don't have to invite as many people. But right now, I'm still inviting and reaching out a lot every single day. Okay, so that's it. Homework. So I want you guys in that page before the next call on Wednesday to share that goals page, right? That you guys were, there it went. Share that goals page, that one. So snapshot it or whatever, take a picture of it and share it up in that group. You can also share this one as well, but I want to see this one. I know if I were your coach, I would want to see your why. And then you're going to do a business launch post, right? Scary. You're going to do a business launch post with a picture, and you're going to tag your coach, and you're going to put it on your page. So hopefully do that in the next couple of days. And then you're going to fill out your list of 100. So fill out your list, fill it all in, take a picture of it, and post it in the page. Oh, there's your diamond. That's what diamonds look like right there too. So sorry, we went past that really quickly. I know somebody's like, I saw somebody look at that, go, oh my gosh, it looks daunting. It's not. So that's it, you guys. There are 2 minutes remaining before Zoom cuts me off. So does anybody have any questions? Any chat? Anything in the chat? Did I cover it all? Everyone, thank you for listening. You guys were all so intent, and I saw everybody writing, so I can't wait to see your stories. April, you've been through this a couple of times now, so your story's evolved quite a bit, right? Yeah. Just in a couple of months, she's been a total rock star and just killing it. So I'm interested to see how maybe her goals have changed a little bit. Because I know her brain is always cooking with every single new challenge. So, okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for listening. You guys are awesome. And I can't wait to see you guys next Wednesday for the next call. All right?